Welcome to Veterans Air, the Veterans Hour. I am your host, Douglas B. We have a special broadcast coming out to you today because I am in the studio with Foy Day, who is the district chaplain, who's the chaplain for District 17 Veterans of Foreign Wars. He is also the chairman of the VFW Post 4709 Americanism and Youth Programs. And today, we're going to be talking to him about some scholarships available under these programs, Patriot's Pen and the Voice of Democracy. And Floyd's going to join us in just a second and tell us all about these programs and how you can win a scholarship. That's right, you. This is going out, if you're listening and you have kids in school, you have grandkids in school, this message needs to get to them. Because of the way COVID is affecting our education system, they may not get the opportunity to know about these programs. So make sure you get this. And we're gonna put this out on Facebook Live, of course. It'll be on our page. I'll make sure I get it on the website and on VFW's website coming up shortly in the next couple of days. But before I get to that, I have some important announcements to make about some past visitors here on Veterans Air. If you remember, a couple of months ago, we had Harvey and Chad Deere from Harvey from God's Garage and Chad Deere from 4T4 Racing. And great interview, great bunch of guys. If you haven't heard the interview, go back and look at it. And they are both so active in our community that it's not even funny. But I want to read you what Chad sent over to me just last night. So this is brand new. Did you know there are 14.7 million children living in poverty? Most of these children won't wake up to gifts under the Christmas tree. East Tech Detachment Marine Corps League helps Toys for Tots reach about 7 million of those kids. And you know, Toys for Tots is one of my pet charities that I give to Toys for Tots and the Salvation Army every single year. But did you also know there are currently over 3,000 women sitting on a 1.5-year-long waiting list? What are they waiting for? The opportunity to get a vehicle that will help them better their lives, employment, and current situation. This is where the volunteers at God's Garage comes in as they repair vehicles and even donate vehicles to those single women, widows, and wives of our deployed military. That's Harvey over at God's Garage, another great organization. Neither of these organizations can survive without your help. They need you to be able to continue to do their work. 4T4 Racing has teamed up with both to raise awareness, and now we're calling on all of you. 4T4 Racing has put together an awesome prize pack with the help of our friends and sponsors valued at over $600. Bring any new toy, car part, automotive fluid, etc. to the last 4 races held by the Texas Short Track Racing Series Group in Houston. That's over at the Houston Motorsports Park. That's September 5th, the 12th, the 26th, and October 17th. And you will be entered. If you bring a toy, that's 1 entry. 5 toys, 5 entries. Quart of oil, 1 entry. 12 quarts, 12 entries. You see how this is working out here? So on and so on. Any item brought from Advanced Auto Parts will be given double entries if you donate with the receipt, proof of receipt. And every $10 cash donation will equal 1 entry. You got an old car that's just taking up space in your front yard? You can donate it to God's Garage, and you'll get 100 entries for that. Let's make this year, the Toys for Tot, the biggest toy and car part drive Houston has ever seen. I'm calling for you to help out. Please tag your friends. Go over to Facebook. You'll see it on Veterans Air. You'll see it on 4T4 Racing, on God's Garage. Tag them and share that post. Now, if you go over to the races, and you should, they'll have a table set up for the spectator side for the teams to meet the pit crews and things of that nature. This is all being possible made possible by the sponsors in our community. And they are Caraway Pest Control. We know them. Dangerous Dan, the bug-killing man. Black, Gold, and Gun Ammo. Race on Texas. Supreme Vinyl Works. The Lost Cajun. Carlton Anderson. Grill Your Butt Off. No, I have to say their name. It's okay. It's not vulgar. Grill Your Ass Off. The Texas Short Track Racing Series. God's Garage. Mac Tools. Kevin Scott over there. Liquid Death Mountain Water. Have any of you tried that? Because the name just sounds awesome. I want you to dig deep this year because people out there are hurting and they need it. Let's get some toys. Let's get some car parts over to God's Garage because they're the ones helping out these single women. Now, before we get into with Floyd, I want to remind y'all, if you were listening Tuesday, did a big long thing about the political forum at Post 4709 VFW on the 26th of September, where all the candidates from all the parties are doing a meet and greet. I wanted to remind you to go do that. Go meet your candidates before you go elect them. I also recently learned, just the other night, that VFW Post 4709 is doing a blood drive every single Monday in the month of October from 2 to 6. Every single Monday from 2 to 6 at VFW 4709, there'll be the blood bank, big coach bus there, and you can go give blood. Did I have anything else important to say? I don't think so. All right, well, let's get into it. Foy, welcome to Veterans Air, the Veterans Hour.
Thank you, Doug. I'm excited to be here this afternoon to talk to everybody.
Well, tell us about yourself. If nobody knew who Foy was, and I just learned something about you that I didn't know.
Uh-oh, it might be dangerous.
I learned that Foy isn't your real name.
No, it isn't. My full name is Michael John Foy Day. Won't tell you my legal birth name because it's 8 names total. But anyway, my name is Foy. I served in the military for about 33 and a half years and came home about 5 years ago after retiring and serving in the U.S. Navy. I had a very interesting career and very prosperous career that's noteworthy. However, I served as a District 17 chaplain throughout the greater Houston area. And today I want to talk to you about the Americanism youth programs that we sponsor through the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States.
Now, these programs, let's break them down. We have 2 that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Patriots Pen and the Voice of Democracy. This is a little bit different. This is my radio voice. Do you like my radio voice?
I do.
This is the voice that I use for the blood drive promo.
Awesome.
If I can remember to talk like this all during the show, I think we'd be a much better show. I'm gonna try because I don't like my regular voice. Anyway, Patriots Pen. This is a scholarship program, is it not?
Yes, it is.
And I see that it is open through the 6th and 8th grade students.
6th, 7th, and 8th grade students.
I mean, that's unique. I don't know of very many, if at all, scholarships that are targeting this age bracket.
Well, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, we have been doing this since 1947.
Wow.
So we have scholarships all the way up to the national level because we have scholarship levels at the post, the district, the state, and national. National, you can win $5,000. That is our top prize for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders if you're selected all the way up to the national level. You can win up to $5,000. That's a lot of money for a little kid. And we want to promote that because it's important. This is something that you want to think about your future because when you're applying to attend a university or college or trade school, this is something that you can put on your resume that you participated in this program.
I want to break this down a little bit. So, they can win at the post level.
Correct.
State level.
Post, district, state, and national. There's 4 different, this is 4 different chances. If you're selected by the post, you proceed to the district level, and you face a little bit bigger crowd. If you pass the district and you're selected for the first, second, or third categories, then you're promoted to the state level, and likewise for the national level.
And each one of these
The-
has a scholarship attached to it. So if they win here at the Post,
Correct.
there's 3 levels. First one for the Post is $300. Second place is $200, and third place is $100. And then the winner, the first place one that got the $300, he goes to district, or she goes to district.
All 3 winners, first, second, and third place, are all submitted to the district for judging. So there's those 3 individuals will proceed up to the district level for judging amongst the other students and other school districts surrounding us.
So they can continue to win and continue to stack up these scholarships.
Correct.
As far as they go. And if they don't make it to state, that doesn't mean that they didn't lose what they've already won. They still keep those, correct?
Yes, we don't consider any of our students that participate in our programs, they're all winners. But we take pride in what we do with them and with these papers that these students write. Because we have a team of educators that actually take their time out of their schedule, and because they see these students day in and day out, but they don't know who the student is and with whose paper's who, because when you write your paper, your speech, you don't put your name, don't put any of your information on that speech. You can write your name on the back side, but they don't look at the back side of the pages. So when you're writing your speech, you never put your name, because your speech is going to be attached to your application that's going to be submitted.
Well, let's circle back to the awards in a minute. What do they have to do for Patriots Pen?
All right, the first thing, this year's theme for 2020 and 2021, the theme this year chosen, each year the Commander-in-Chief for the National Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States selects the theme. And this year, for the Patriots Pen, the theme is, what is patriotism to me? Again, what is patriotism to me? So you sit down and you write a 300 to 400 word essay. If you'll hand type it, attach it to the scholarship application. You'll have that. Please fill out all the information. Do a word count, because you don't want to exceed 400 words. There's qualifications. Please read the scholarship application front to back, because it tells you in detail what you need to do for that.
Let me interrupt you here for a second. This form that you need to fill out, I'll make sure that I get it up and attach it to this broadcast on Veterans Air. You also can find it at the VFW.org, TexasVFW.org, and on our Post site, VFW4709.org. This form and everything that you'll need to know about Patriots Pen will be available to you. I'm
Correct.
Sorry to interrupt
you. On the VFW.org website, when you scroll down on the home page, scroll down to the bottom where it says youth, and if you'll click on the youth section, you'll be able to upload that form right off your printer at home or your school. And like Doug said, you can go to the 3 different various websites. Again, that's VFW.org, TexasVFW.org, or VFW4709.org. Now, if you're not from this area and you're listening in on our station today, please note there are VFWs across the state of Texas or across the nation, and there are some located overseas in Europe. You can go to their websites or their post home, but again, due to COVID-19, our post homes are not open like they normally are or like they were in the past. Most of them are still closed for outside business.
That's a good point. That's a good point, because this show does reach all over the world. We've had people from Serbia, from Guam listening, had one out in Japan listening. So it does reach further than just here in Montgomery County. And if you're listening to this, the programs that we're talking about today from the VFW, these are national programs.
Nationwide.
Every post has this.
Correct. Every VFW throughout the country has this particular program at their post home. This is one thing that the Veterans and Foreign Wars of the United States promotes each year. And like I said, we promote these programs to help you.
So I'm an 8th grader here. I'm a 7th grader. And I want to compete for one of these scholarships. So I fill out the form. I write a 300 to 400 word essay. I've run it through spell check. I've run it through Grammarly. It actually sounds really good. And I put it all in the mail and I send it off over to whatever my post home is, my VFW post locus to me. What happens after that?
Okay, once the package is received at the VFW post home, they'll be collected as the chairman for these programs. Everything must be turned in by the 15th of November. Even though the forms all say October the 31st, that's always been our cutoff, was October the 31st. This year, due to COVID-19, we have extended the program to November 15th. So, and after 15th of November, we won't be able to accept it. But once all these scholarship applications and your speech is received, we're going to take those over to the educators, and we have a team of educators that have graded and reviewed the papers to choose the best winner for the Patriots pin. And these educators, like I said, they take their time out of their schedules to do this and to make sure that we get a winner selected. Well,
do I have to stand in front of an audience somewhere and read this?
No. All you have to do is just hand type your essay, like I said, 300 to 400 words. Put it hand type so it's nice and readable. And then you submit it, just attach it with your application. Make sure that your parent signs your application. Again, on the form, when you're filling out the form, make sure you fill out the form completely. But there is a place for your parent to sign the form. Make sure that the form is legible, because a lot of times if it's not legible, then it makes you ineligible.
Well, you know what I'm going to do for our listeners, Foy? Since I'm high-speed, low-drag Chief Technology Officer, I'm going to take this form and I'm going to scan it so it gets online. But I am even going to make it fillable so they can type in all the responses on this form and just print it out so everybody can read it.
Awesome.
Because I understand, I mean, we've had conversations before that sometimes you get a good essay, but you can't read the form who put it in.
And we have problems like that in the past where we can't read the forms, and we call the student and there's no response, or the number's not working. There's always something that happens. And we don't want to turn down any student that takes their time to write this essay, because you are valuable, you're an asset to our community, and you're our future for our community. Who knows, you could be our next mayor in our city here. You could be a council member. You could be a senator. You never know.
Let me ask you this question. We have a listener, says granddaughter would be great for it. Granddaughter doesn't have a computer. Do the guidance counselors and whatnot know about these programs?
Yes, they do. Throughout the year, we have 3 school districts within the Montgomery County area. We have Conroe, we have Willis, and we have Montgomery Independent School Districts, 3 of them, along with the home schools. If there's a student out there that doesn't have a computer at home to prepare their essay, please get with your guidance counselor or your teacher and ask for assistance. If you're still not getting the assistance that you need, please give me a phone call or send me an email. My phone number is 936-697-8800. 8769, or you can email me at foyday@aol.com.
You still have an AOL address?
I have several.
Boy.
Yes,
Dude.
I'm inundated. I'm old. Remember, I'm probably old enough to be most of your pawpaws.
That's exciting. I did not know Patriots Pen was for 6th through 8th graders.
Yes.
I wish I had known. I would have got my daughter to do that.
But like I said, any questions you have on this Patriots Pen, we want you to reach out to us. Even though the post is closed, there are certain nights that the hall is open for the bingo. You may find one of the post officers there, and you can stop and talk to them about the program also. But if you need to, you can reach out to me. Please, if you're calling my phone number, please leave a message. I stress, please leave a message. I will call you back. Or send me an email. And if you need to, you can send me a text. I'm not great on tech, but I will reach out to you. All right.
Well, that's exciting. And we wanted to talk about today also another scholarship opportunity, the Voice of Democracy. Now, the Voice of Democracy, that is for 9th through 12th graders.
Correct.
Talk to me about what this, because this Voice of Democracy is a bit different than Patriot Pen.
Huge difference in Voice of Democracy. This is for our 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. You must not be over the age of 20. If you're disabled, please reach out to me because there's other means for you to go forward and at the national level. For the hearing impaired, not to worry, you can still participate because we have means through the national organization to take care of you for that. All right, again, on your Voice of Democracy, this year's theme for 2021 is this the country the founders envisioned? And I want to make sure, Doug, that when we're talking to everybody out here, we want to make sure that you focus on the theme. So many times our students will write a paper and they put a total different theme on the title page. Keep the theme as your primary title. Again, don't put your name on there. Make sure it's between 300 to 400 words. Now, on the Voice of Democracy, when you're submitting your application, make sure you follow the details and fill out all the information on the sheet, front and back. The one important thing about the Voice of Democracy, you must submit a thumb drive or a CD-ROM. We prefer the thumb drive, the flash drive, because it makes it easier to plug into our computers, because most computers don't even have a CD player on them. So,
well, hang on, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
So, Patriots Pen was writing a 300 to 400
correct
essay on the theme. Voice of Democracy, what are the requirements? What are they doing?
Okay, first you want to write your speech, your essay out, 300 to 400 words, typewritten, no name. Again, no name on the paper. Keep the theme as your title. The second part of this, make sure you completely fill out the application on the websites, VFW.org, TexasVFW.org, or VFW4709.org. Again, if you're living out of the area, there is a post home near you. Most of you know how to use computers nowadays because you're more computer savvy than I am. Reach out on Google where the post home nearest to you. Keep in mind, this year, we have scholarship levels range from the post, the district, the state, and national.
All right, let me ask some questions here. We have to stay on track. So it's finished with what they have to do. So they write this essay. So that's just like Patriots Pen. They just read an essay. That's it. They don't
Correct.
They don't have to read it or anything.
No. we do want you to proof your work and read your speech. Make sure it sounds great, because when you do record this on the thumb drive, because you have to submit a thumb drive with your paper and your application to the VFW in order to be put into the judging contest. So if you're having trouble and you can't afford to buy a thumb drive, you let me know. I want to help you. I don't mind getting a thumb drive for you. So not to worry. We want to make sure you're taken care of, because you are important. Again, you are our future.
Yeah, I made some notes here. This year, for VFW Post 4709, first place winner of the competition at post level is a $1,000 scholarship.
$1,000.
$1,000 for 400 words.
That's a lot of money.
Second place is $500.
$500.
Third place is $300.
Correct.
And if you write this awesome theme, is this the country that our founding fathers envisioned? And you go all the way up to national, and you win at national, you're going to receive scholarships totaling $30,000. Let me say that again. If you put the effort into this and you win at the post, district, state, and national level, you will have won scholarships equaling $30,000.
And again, that's for first place.
That's like, depending on the school you go to, that could be the entire tuition.
Yes.
That can be like everything. Because, and stop me when I'm wrong, these scholarships can be used at universities, colleges, trade schools.
Correct. Now, on our post level, unlike the Patriots Pen will receive their award amount at the awards banquet. Voice of Democracy, you receive your awards and everything less the monies, because the way you get your scholarship, your scholarship, if you win at our post level, you get that upon when we receive the acceptance letter from the university, college, or trade school, and then that money is for your tuition to be applied for your tuition.
This goes out to my daughter. Damn, I wish I had known this when you were applying for scholarships. Wow, $30,000. That is a boatload of money. That's a hell of a scholarship for 400 words.
Yes.
I want to ask, because we're asking 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th graders to write this awesome 400-word essay. Does it all have to be just them, or can they enlist the help of their educators to proofread these things for them?
I would encourage you to have your parent or your teacher read your paper. Maybe that you can use that as an extra credit for your history class or your
That's
English
what I was getting at.
or your speech class, because when we send out letters to the district schools, your English department, your speech department, and your history department all receive these, along with your guidance counselors and your principal of that school. And the top dog, which is the superintendent of each school district, has this information readily available because it's sent straight to the superintendent. So there's a lot of key people in your lives right there at the schools that can help you with this. And again, please, if you need assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to me, because I will call you back, I will write you back, or I can meet you somewhere. Now, we do want to talk about one thing, Doug. We want to talk about when they submit their packages.
Yes, because does this also have the same extended deadline?
Yes, extended deadline. The form says through national, it states 31 October. The Post and the Department of Texas has granted each of the post homes throughout the state of Texas till the 15th of November. But they must be at the post or in my hand by the 15th.
And they have to be on a thumb drive.
And your speech must be on a thumb drive. If it's not on a thumb drive, your paper will not be able to go forward and be judged because.
Well, a 400-word essay, Word document on a thumb drive. The thumb drive can be like really small. You can but a 2 meg thumb drive, and it'll get everything. So
and the speech is about 3 to 5 minutes, so that's not very long.
300 to 400. Well, are they recording themselves reading the speech?
Yes, you're gonna
see?
record yourself reading the speech. And what I would strongly and highly encourage each student to do when they make and record this speech on the thumb drive is to sit down and listen to yourself. Are you pronouncing the words, enunciating? How do you sound? Are you sincere? Are you serious? Or are you joking?
Okay, I got to talk about this for a second because I know a little bit about it. Now, when you go to record yourself, you can record yourself in the webcam on your laptop. It's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. They're not judging you on the quality of your video. But listen
Not a video. Not a video. We don't want to see the student's picture.
Oh, you just want their WAV file.
We just need their voice.
That's even better.
So
all right, so listen.
Because we don't want to discriminate against any one person.
So they write up 300 to 400 word essay on our topic is this the country the founding fathers envisioned? Now notice the way that I am sitting when I go to speak with you all on the radio. I speak, I sit very erect, and that is because it helps with my breathing. And when I'm using my radio voice, as I am right now, it helps with that voice. As you know from my prepared shows, not my podcasts, but my prepared shows, I've always write something down. I'm always reading off of a script. And I practice that script multiple times. And I do this for 3 reasons. The first is so I can take a listen back and go, did I miss something? The second is, did I make my timings? Because Engineer Dick here, he gives me an hour. I can't talk for 2 hours. But if I talk for only 40 minutes, then he has dead air. So I try to make my timings. And thirdly, and the most important, am I sincere in what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I have to be sincere. I have to believe what it is that I'm talking about. Otherwise, you, the listener, is not going to believe, is not going to get the feelings that I have for it, the passion that I have for it. If you listened to Tuesday's show, my 9/11 show, that was very emotional, wasn't it, Dick? Yeah, we had to take a break in the middle of it. It was that emotional for me. And you need to practice this over and over and over again until it's polished and you can present the feeling and the emotion for what it is that you wrote. So to recap, boy, they write this 300 to 400 word essay.
Type it up.
They put that on the thumb drive.
And put it on a thumb drive.
They do a wave recording, or you'll also take MP3s, I'm assuming.
Don't know what that is.
Okay, well, they're giving you a voice recording also on the thumb drive.
All we need is a thumb drive that has their voice speaking, basically reading your speech, but just practice. I can't stress that.
So
but no pictures,
you got a Word
no
document?
music, no pictures, no music on this thumb drive. Just you talking. That's all they're gonna. If there's music or there's pictures, it will disqualify you. Just basically reading your speech, but like I said, pronouncing those words.
Enunciation.
Yes.
And we all know that I have a huge problem with enunciating. I get my words get jumbled around. Word document, 300 to 400 words with your topic, a WAV file or MP3, and trust me, the kids, the 9th, 10th, 11th, they know what that is. They know.
Yeah, I know my little kindergartner, my pre-K grandkids, they know more about the computers than I do.
When they go to send this in, they're sending in the form and they're sending in the thumb drive.
And a copy of their speech.
So you want a hard copy of the speech also?
Yes, we have to have three items. You need to send a copy of your speech along with your application filled out properly, and the thumb drive is the third thing. You put all that in a package. Make sure you paper clip or clip your thumb drive to your speech and application. The best way so it's not lost, what I found in the past, and if you don't, that's all right, because I have gallon-sized bags that I use the gallon-sized Ziploc bags, so that way it's all in there and it's zipped up, because that's how I'm gonna hand it to the educator.
Is there anything that they need to put on the thumb drive that identifies that thumb drive as them?
You could tag it or put a piece of tape or a Post-it on it, but it's not necessary, because that all stays in a Ziploc bag for each level, post to district to state to national.
So they stick it in the envelope, and for the within the area here, within 4709's, Post 4709's area, you're going to mail that to VFW Post 4709, P.O. Box 122, Conroe, Texas 77305. And again, I will get that out to you all. Hard copy, put it on Facebook and also on the website. So, excuse me, so you all can download them easily enough.
I do want to stress again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, my phone number is 936-697-8769, or via email, foyday@aol.com. Or you can use foyday@yahoo.com.
Engineer Nick, I got about, 15 minutes left?
I got one more thing I would like to put out there. All right, students, all of you from the 6th all the way through the 12th grade, I want to encourage you to participate in this program. It's a learning experience for all of us, but for you most importantly. The next thing I would like to say, you have a teacher out there that's teaching Americanism or citizenship. You want to submit your Teacher of the Year for the VFW. Again, on those websites, VFW.org, TexasVFW.org, or VFW4709.org. If you go in there.
Well, hang on. Let's give a little structure to this to our listeners, because they may just be listening to you, and we got to keep them in lockstep here for them.
Okay.
So next thing we're going to talk about the Teacher of the Year.
Yes.
Now, what is Teacher of the Year?
Teacher of the Year is submitted by the school's principal based on the students selecting a teacher from their classroom settings. And normally they choose their favorite teacher that went out of their way to teach Americanism or youth citizenship.
Okay, so this isn't only open to history teachers or to English teachers.
This is open for, we select teachers based on Americanism and youth programs, and this is through the national organization, and what it is called Citizenship Teacher of the Year. It's one is a teacher out there that's promoting citizenship and Americanism through their classes.
Okay, I'm a little dense here. As you all know, I'm a substitute teacher myself. So when I get called in, when Conroe calls me in to teach, the substitute, I'm subbing for, in this case, the Photoshop teacher. That's what he normally teaches. He teaches Photoshop. Mm-hmm. So is there a area of study that the teacher would be coming from? Are they history teachers? Are they gym teachers?
Generally, our teachers come from either the speech department, English, or the history departments. But that's not saying that there's not a teacher that teaches in another subject matter at the school, like geometry and math, because we accept them all. But the main focus is they're looking for teachers that are promoting the Americanism programs, citizenship throughout the community. And it's not just because they're teaching in mathematics or art 101 or photography. That teacher could be out in town that she works with the local children in the community. It's not just being a teacher at the school and teaching all day. So that's why we don't It's promoted for any teacher within the school district.
See, I'm glad you bring that up. I have a educator. I'm involved in his organization, Patriotic Restoration. He spoke at our post a year or so ago. I think he did a video with you. Now, he's a physical ed educator. He's
Yes.
actually the golf coach.
Yes, he is.
But he and his organization go in and they promote Americanism and citizenship in the school system. So somebody like that is a perfect candidate.
Yes, and and those students need to reach out and submit their name.
Now, how do they go ahead and submit their names?
All right, well, what they do, we go on the one of the websites, download the form just like you would for the Patriots Pen or the Voice of the Marcy. And again, this is Citizenship Teacher of the Year award, and there's procedures to follow for that on there. Now the rules are a little bit different for a Teacher of the Year because they have to submit a picture, they have to submit a resume, they have to submit the application, and they need to forward that. They need a recommendation from their school principal, and then we get that, and then the post home, we make those decisions by selecting our Teacher of the Year to be forwarded through to the next level up to district.
So what does the Teacher of the Year get?
Teacher of the Year at the post home here at 4709, they get a nice plaque, and there's categories. There's Teacher of the Year for elementary level. There's 2 secondary levels, one for the junior high level and one for the senior high level. And each of those teachers receive at the awards banquet a nice plaque, certificate from the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and they also receive a monetary amount of $200 cash award. And who can't use 200 extra bucks?
Damn, Skippy. This is what we voted on for the year budget, isn't it?
Yes, this is part of the budget that I have to submit a budget each year.
Yeah, I gotta let you all know. Foy has been doing this, Americanism in Youth, for years now. And he is the apex of what a chairman for Americanism in Youth should be. He really is.
I'm coming up on my 30th year with the VFW.
But I gotta say, since COVID has shut us down, VFW is not making any money. But it still has bills that it has to pay. And he submitted his budget for this year for the Americanism in Youth, and we just tore him apart. We really did.
They really did.
I want to apologize, but there's nothing else in the well.
We got to work within our means. But I do want to say something about that, Doug, because out here in our community, we have business owners. You want to write a do a tax write-off? The Veterans of Foreign Wars, and I'm not soliciting your funds, but if you need a tax write-off and you need
I'll
to give us,
solicit your funds.
you could earmark that money for the Americanism Youth programs that helps us to do these programs.
Oh, that's right. That's right, because we talked about this.
Yes.
If you do a donation, there are specific programs within the VFW that we do every single year. You can earmark your particular donation for that program. So if you give $100 and go, I would like to give them $100, but they're going to blow that on beer. No. You can earmark that for these programs.
None of your money that's donated via check or cash to the post home will never ever be used for the adult consumptions of adult beverages. Especially when they're earmarked for Americanism Youth, they will be going to those to help support these programs. And not only that we have the scholarship funds, Doug, the funding for the budget for the post home that was approved by our general membership recently, we have other programs that we use this money for. It takes money to purchase the supplies, the forms, the little pins and ribbons, medals that we
Waxing the floor.
I mean, it also supports our junior ROTC, our Toys for Tot program, you name it. There's so many different programs, And if you would like to know more about the VFW and what we do, again, you reach out to the VFW on our websites, or you can reach me through my email again, and I'll be more than happy to sit down and talk to you. If there's classes out there and teachers that would like to entertain.
No, hang on. We're not going to do that just yet.
Okay.
We're saving that for the last.
All right.
That's the thing that me, you, and General McNabb talked about doing, right?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to save that for last.
Okay.
But there were other things, and there's other recognitions, if you will, within the community that
Yes.
the VFW does. And if you listened to the show on Tuesday, you'll know my feelings about law enforcement and fire department and our EMT first responders. You'll know my strong feelings of that. And Foy, tell us about what we do for these brave men and women that are on the front line saving our butt.
On our first responders, and I love working with my first responders. I'm one of the chaplains and mentor for the Veterans Pod at the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. I also work with the 6 fire stations here in Conroe, feeding those firefighters on a regular basis. But nevertheless, if you want to submit a firefighter, an EMS, or a police officer, or a deputy, and it doesn't matter which armed or law enforcement officer agency they come from, they're all welcome. But but basically when you want to submit their name, we'll need a picture of them, a nice color photograph. We need basically just a write-up as a recommendation for Officer of the Year. It's that simple, cut and dry, just basically a short essay write-up on the officer and a picture. Now,
There's timelines for the entries on all these, and they're on the website too, correct?
They are.
Good.
They're all due on the 31st of October each year, but again, the deadlines are all extended out to the 15th of November this year.
And I promise y'all, I will get the direct links to these and get them over to Engineer Dick. Who'll put them on the bottom of this broadcast. All right, so now we can talk about, going back to the thing, as educators, I want you to pay close attention because this segment of the program is directed just to you. This is for educators out there. What has happened in the past is Foy used enormous amounts of hours to go around to each school in each class that wanted him to come in and talk about Americanism, patriotism, citizenship. This year, because of COVID, where everything is so distant learning, the Post 4709 has convinced Foy that we need to do it another way. You want to take this thunder?
I certainly will. All right, in the past, I'll give you an example. Last year alone, I taught 973 children in the pre-K and kindergarten level at all 7 of the Montgomery Independent School District elementary schools. That was a total of 42 classes that takes roughly about an hour each. And it's a long day for me, so this old grandpa is pretty tired when he gets home because I've been at school just all day teaching the classes.
What are you teaching?
I'm teaching Americanism, and basically I have a storybook that I use to share the story. And in the past, I sat right there in front of our pre-K and our kindergartners, and I've done other classes up to the 3rd grade level using the same story, I Love America. And it's a short story, and then afterwards we have questions and answers. And then the VFW has always provided a coloring page, 3x5 stick flag. Sometimes we have candy because it's Halloween-ary time frame. We usually have little goodies. We always have a Buddy Poppy for the students, but we have a lot of fun in the classroom.
What are you going to do this year? And we're starting this.
Okay,
really
this year I went out of my way to spend my own money because we're tight on funding.
Got 5 minutes here, Foy.
We have So I made this huge coloring book, and I'm excited about it because I had it. The coloring book was blown up and laminated, and then I made a big old coloring book. So when I go on the air, I'll be able to open the big coloring book so you can follow along with the story with me. And I'm so excited about, because I get to set one setting to do this, and I get to reach out not only to Montgomery Independent School District, but I get to reach out to Conroe and Willis also.
Let me break this down for y'all. So what we're going to do with Foy is that we're actually going to do 2 or 3 videos that will be made accessible to the general public and especially to your educators. First video that we're going to work on is folding of the flag and what each one of those folds means. And we're going to do that. We're going to record it and we're going to make it available. We'll have our color guard out there. It'll be really sharp. And that can be played. We're going to have another one with Foy in the storybook, and it'll be just like sitting on Grandpa's lap reading the story. That's what we're going for. So that you can still, educators, you can still have these tools available to you that you've traditionally in the past looked at the VFW and Foy Day of providing, but in the year of COVID, that's just not going to happen. So if you're out there and you're really interested in these things and these topics, please contact Foy, contact me, or contact the radio station. You all know how to get hold of me on the Google phone. Text me 936. What is my number? 936-344-3083. Foy, we're running out of time. So we're going to cut this off here. I want to thank you for visiting with me here in the studio at the Lone Star Community Radio Station. And I want to personally thank you for your duty and your service to our country, even though you were Navy.
Yeah, go Navy, beat Army. I do want to say thank you to Dick and to Doug for hosting me today in the studio, and I appreciate y'all for allowing us to bring the American programs to the community and to share our vision and our aims and ideals of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States. And with that being said, I salute you, and y'all have a wonderful afternoon.
Thanks for being here, Foy. And remember out there, don't forget about the political forum on the 26th, the blood drive every Monday next month in October. And as always, until next time, stay safe, stay vigilant.